Last 24 hours of Adolf Hitler's life. The last 24 hours of Adolf Hitler's life were marked by chaos and desperation as the Allied forces closed in on Berlin during World War II. It was a culmination of his rise to power, the war, and the Holocaust that resulted in the deaths of millions of Jews and other minority groups. April 29, 1945. On April 29, Hitler married his longtime companion Eva Braun in a small civil ceremony in the Führerbunker, an underground complex beneath the Reich Chancellery in Berlin. The wedding was a surprise to many of Hitler's followers and was seen as a symbol of his desperation and disregard for the reality of the situation. That same day, Hitler learned that the Soviet army was just blocks away from the bunker. He was informed of the situation by General Helmuth Weidling, who had been appointed to defend Berlin. Hitler was aware that the war was lost and that capture by the Soviets was imminent. He was also aware of the fact that his actions had led to the deaths of millions of people, particularly Jews, and that he would be held accountable for his crimes. Hitler's response to the news was to retreat further into his delusional world. He refused to discuss surrender or escape plans and instead talked about launching a counterattack that would save Berlin and turn the tide of the war. His followers, including Weidling and Goebbels, tried to reason with him, but he refused to listen. April 30, 1945. On the morning of April 30th, Hitler woke up early and had breakfast with his staff. He then retired to his private quarters with Braun, where he dictated his last will and testament. In the document, he ranted about his enemies and expressed his belief in the superiority of the Aryan race. He also appointed Admiral Karl Donitz as his successor and named Martin Bormann as the head of the Nazi Party. After completing his will, Hitler gave his personal secretary, Trottel Junge, his dog Blondie, and instructed her to leave the bunker. He then said goodbye to his staff and ordered them to continue the fight against the Allies. Hitler then retired to a private room with Braun, where he took a cyanide pill and shot himself in the head with a pistol. Braun also took a cyanide pill and died by Hitler's side. Their bodies were discovered by Hitler's valet, Heinz Ling, and were taken upstairs to the garden outside the bunker. He also had a German shepherd dog whom he treated like his own baby. He killed his dog by giving him poisonous pills. In accordance with Hitler's instructions, the remains of Hitler and Braun were then burned. Ling poured gasoline on the bodies, and they were set alight. The remains were later discovered by the Soviet army, who had captured Berlin. The Soviet authorities conducted an autopsy and identified the remains as those of Hitler and Braun. Aftermath. The suicide of Hitler marked the end of the Nazi regime and the conclusion of World War II in Europe. Hitler's death also triggered a power struggle among the remaining Nazi officials in the bunker, who were attempting to negotiate a surrender with the Allies. Ultimately, Germany officially surrendered on May 7, 1945, and the war in Europe came to an end. The aftermath of Hitler's death has been marked by controversy and speculation. Some have questioned whether Hitler actually died in the bunker or whether he escaped to South America or elsewhere. However, The overwhelming evidence suggests that Hitler did indeed commit suicide in the bunker on April 30, 1945. Hitler's legacy is one of destruction and evil. His actions led to the deaths of millions of people and left a lasting stain on human history. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.